Hello, good day. I'm clear and you're inside the Real Room Material Talk. Welcome one and all, welcome one and all. So it have certain people who went to school, didn't even finish primary school, learning wasn't for them. They decided not to take a trade. They decided that, here what, I go live on the land. I go dig my land and live. I go eat yam dashi. And this was a choice that you made. But now, when these choices, the choices that you made, are not working out for you in this pandemic, you are deciding that, here what, this is no longer acceptable for me. I want a $60,000 a month salary. When the people who buckle down their head, the people who from the beginning of their lives, one, had stable parents who decided this is what I want for my children. Two, decided that for themselves when they were older, who continued along the line of academics, who put themselves and worked very hard and put themselves in the right place, shake the right hands. How much prime ministers are there in the country right now? One. It is a job only one man could hold. Only one person could hold. It is an elected position that only one person could hold. That $60,000 is horseshit money. You want to know why? When you serve the public, you no longer have a life. You don't have a social life. You don't have a personal life. You are now serving the public. Why you are paid this amount is that your family now should be comfortable. Because you are basically giving your life to the public. You don't have time for your family. You don't have time to go in the grocery. You don't have time to compare prices. I am not even a celebrity or somebody who give my life to the public. And if you all know that the public sucks so much from me, they call for advice, they call for charity, they call for the works. And if I check myself, I will have no time for my children. And I'm here getting $60,000 a month to make sure that my bills paid. This is what the job pays because of what the job requires. The people who complaining about this, can they implement law? Can they sit and decide, here what is best for the country? Are they willing to make the tough decisions and then get no thanks for it? Because being a public service is a very thankless job. Because all your name makaram, they come on social media or in public or in the privacy or your home and bash every single leader that come, whether it's PNM, UNC, they're never doing good enough. Also, their life is in constant danger because the people who don't like them and who don't want them in power constantly aim to destabilize the nation. And that brings me to point number 2. The purpose of this document being leaked now is to only lead to destabilization of the nation. And I'm going to say this boldfacedly. The UNC party is using this pandemic to destabilize the nation. They are trying every trick. They cannot win an election fairly, have never win an election played out. They have tried every trick in the book. They have tried racialism. They have tried buying the electorate. They have tried everything. And now the next tactic is to destabilize the nation so much that they make every citizen so angry and so disgruntled by things that cannot be held by the current government, and even when they get in power, they will be facing the same shortcomings and the same shortfalls and have to make the same tough decisions. But they are using this as an opportunity to make everybody unhappy and destabilize the nation. Trinidad is experiencing the same pandemic of all other countries, have the same restrictions of all other Caribbean nations, but the only nation that claiming that the government not doing right by them and they're suffering is Trinidad and Tobago. Why? These documents that keep on coming out, and these, when, all you remember the first death that Trinidad had? And Kamala beside Bissessa, before the Prime Minister could announce, said run forward. All you can remember that, all you mustn't have a short memory, you know. I have a problem with people who don't remember. Run forward to come and tell the nation, like, Lanka, somebody dead. Oh my God, like if the Prime Minister hold a gun to this young lady and shoot her. This was after There were thousands of deaths in the States, thousands of deaths in England, thousands of deaths, and we were now on our first death. And she used that death to make people uncomfortable and unhappy, and make people jittery and oh my God. And every single publication that they send out is to make people double think and oh my God. Kitwa is a liar and the government not doing nothing for we and look we suffering. So now they publish this document, right? And $60,000 seems so much. And oh my God, you know how much I could do with that? And we, the Trinidadians, the chain of puppets and the chain of toys, buying into the propaganda machine and taking chain up because you ain't have enough money to pay a bill, but how you make your bed so you will lie on it. What have you done for yourself in the past 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, 40 years that you have been on this earth to secure your future as a human being, as a person? What have you done to put things in place, to have savings in the bank, to secure the roof over your head? What have you done as an individual for yourself to ensure that on a rainy day you could eat, drink, and survive? You have done nothing for you, but yet you look to the government to do for you. You look, we as a society look too much for handout and what people could do for me and gimme. And it's always somebody else's fault that we suffer, and it's never your own fault. I can remember when I made my first child, I had no subjects. Well, I had some subjects, but I had to go back and repeat. And I had no source of income. I went and worked at bar. I write over my CXC subjects. I worked 2-3 jobs at a time to make ends meet. I did whatever was necessary. When people say, I will never wear a KFC uniform and I will never wear KFC, watch me in my big red uniform popping my collar, doing whatever it takes to secure my future and to secure my bread and my butter and make sure that here what I not going to live hand to mouth. The citizens of Trinidad keep on taking chain up. But no matter what government in power, you will still be experiencing a pandemic. This is not the PNM fault. No matter what government in power, you will still have to stay your cunt at home. There will still be restrictions. This is not the PNM fault. No matter what government in power, stores will still be closed, businesses will still be closed. You will still have to stay your cunt at home. This is not the PNM's fault. This is what you call good governance. This is what the Prime Minister is doing, not to save some citizens, but to save all citizens. It is a matter of preservation of life versus popularity. So yes, the decisions he is making is not popular, but it is preserving life. And it continues to do so. And this is why he gets $60,000, because this is a one-man job. Not everybody could be the Prime Minister. For those of you all who packing shelves in groceries and saying, I am an essential worker, yes you are. But today or tomorrow, you fall sick, anybody could pick up. You have never packed shelves in a grocery, could come and pack shelves in a grocery. Can you say the same for a Prime Minister? Can you just come off the street and go and run the country? It takes training, it takes education, it takes leadership, it takes time, it takes the respect of the people. It takes forethought. It takes intellect. It takes craftsmanship. It takes humility. It takes so much. So when you want to compare your pay grade to the pay grade of the Prime Minister and the opposition leader and to the ministers in cabinet and say they're not doing nothing, no, they are. For all you who on the live now, and all you have internet in all your house, all you have the comforts. Why all you feel Venezuelans when you're running across here? The basic necessities they can't even purchase over there, no matter how much money they have. Because the government have systematically done a poor job of international relations and relations with, they are one of the richest countries in natural oil and natural materials. But yet, they don't have the finesse to sell their own product to anybody because nobody will buy from them because they are not part of the CARICOM body, because they like one bacchanal. So they are not partners with the US, they are not partners with the UK, they are not partners, so they have to just sit down on the oil. They have no toilet paper, they have no toothpaste, they have nothing over by them. The electricity was cut off. I'm not sure if they got back electricity in their country, and things just getting worse. Not because of lack of, but because of poor leadership. Yet you sit in a country where you have lights, or you have air condition, or you have internet, or you have running water, or you have toilet paper, or you have a toilet paper factory in all your country, and all you still rushing toilet paper and buying 10 bale at a time. And you all are free to do so. There is no restrictions on how much groceries you can purchase for your home. Once you have the money, you can purchase it. Things could be so much worse. But instead of being grateful and thankful for what you have, you are belly aching. And you're upset. And all who are posting this, oh my God. So why these ministers who work so hard to reach where they are in life should take the money, right, and donate half the salary and leave the family without, and leave the family wanting and living to a lesser standard than they are accustomed to give money to the hungry belly public who doesn't want to do anything for themselves, who prefers to lie down and sleep till 10 in the morning, who want to Netflix and chill all day. Have these ministers, they just come home after 1 in the morning and go back, leave home 6 o'clock to go meeting, and this parliamentary meeting, and this sit down, and this that, and this talk, and international Zoom meetings to discuss policies, while all this skin upon your couch, catching all your cat watching Netflix and fucking chilling all day. And then all you want to have $60,000, all you want that salary, $60,000 must be for all you, right? And all you want to loan all your eyes. This is what is called crime. You cannot just on a whim change the basis of how we live. And why only highlight the public servants? The private sector in this country does make much more than the public servants. And have some private sector workers that's going with $100,000 a month normal. Normal. No. But the information that is given is to make you unhappy and destabilize society. Make you unhappy because, oh gosh, we live in a pandemic and we can't go nowhere. And they solely constantly put the blame on the PNM. So they're brainwashing all you and chaining all you up like chain up puppies, and all you taking the chain up. All you taking the chain up like chain up dolls. All you taking the chain up like stupidies. All you taking the chain up, all you acting brainless. And as soon as somebody come and tell all you something, shh. All you running with it. All you ain't have no sense for all yourself. All you ain't have the sense God give a Billy Goat. I don't make nowhere near $60,000 a month. But me and Vex and me and envious, I want to position myself and get my little talk show on YouTube, you know, get a little money, get it financing itself, get people paying me for my little advertisement so that I can up my standard of living. I want to work hard to be able to afford the things that I want to afford. Not to long my eye behind people who doing it and who sacrifice and who did what needs to be done and had the infrastructure to do what is needed to be earning what they are earning and be envious of them. This is how robbery is coming in place. When your neighbor down the road see you driving a little car, don't know how you get it, don't know how much money you take to get it, don't know how much sleepless nights you stay up studying. We didn't have lights when we was growing up. We used to do we homework underneath the street light. And now we big. I know I sure people will be envious of me and say, oh my God, look at she and she have everything. And they don't know where I come from. And you cannot live one day in my shoe, not one day you could walk in my shoe, not one step. You'll fall apart. Conk out and you can't catch yourself. So stop sending me this document and propaganda from the propaganda machine. And oh my God, if they just give the public every man and every man in his own house have a responsibility to provide for himself. Every man have a responsibility to provide for his children. Every man, woman, and child have a responsibility to themselves, which is stronger than the responsibility that the government have to them. So anytime you think that the responsibility the government have to you is stronger than the responsibility that you have to yourselves and you have to provide for yourselves, we having a problem. You're done not thinking straight. So you must just live and the government must just mind you. This is your thought? This is what must happen? No. A proper functioning society is everybody contributes. Everybody contributes to the existing society in order for it to be stable. And the breakdown of society happens when certain forces decide that they want to destabilize the nation and I want power, and they do not care. The opposition has proven to you all several times that they do not care about the safety of Trinidadians. They do not care, they just want to be in power. Any opposition, any politician that could call the US to get fractions on the self, on their own country, just to make the government look bad so that the government in power could get kicked out and they could come in power, don't care about the citizens, right? Because anytime we get sanctions, you know why sanctions? We're going to get like Venezuela. Because nobody is going to be able, even if they want to trade with us, if they want to keep the spot in CARICOM, they're not going to be able to trade with us. So we are going to be left an island on its own. And we all know we cannot feed ourselves. Because we do not grow enough food in Trinidad and Tobago to feed ourselves. We import mostly everything. So anytime you see our opposition care more about power than they care about people, you know how I would have had respect for the opposition in this time of hardship. If they decide, here what, let us put politics aside and let us work together as one nation in tandem with the government to make the citizens happy, they would have had a chance to get my vote and they would have had a chance to win the election. Because the respect of the people would have been given to them, because they would have decided, yeah, well, let me lay down this politics and this he say, she say. Let us unite and fight this pandemic as one, even if you want to go back in a separate corners after. But no, that is not what is being done. What is being done is a lack of care for the people, a lack of care for the comfort of the people, the peace of mind of the people, and they just want to destabilize the whole nation. If the nation decides to riot, who is going to suffer? Only think about it. If all these lies that they're telling, the PNM get the corona to change the natural world order and to destabilize the UNC, and the UNC people decide to rise up and riot and loot, and what going to happen? PNM people not just going to sit down and accept that. So then them going and rise up, and the PNM have the army, and the PNM have the police service, and the PNM. So people are going to die in these hard times. People are going to die, not from corona, but from warfare. And at the end of the day, we just going to be worse off than what we started. And the powers that be do not care about this, do not care about you. Them going to be behind the big walls and the electric gate and the security system and the bodyguard that they can afford to friggin' hire. And you, with your hungry belly self and your thin wood door that could get kicked down by masked men, going and be on the firing range. Pow, 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 because you're going to be on the front line. Stop following negativity propaganda. Stay at home. Wash your hands. Stay alive. Ignore the noise and be happy. This was the Real Room Talk. Check my again.